Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Manny Reads Comics. Today, we're going to be going over Robin number 3. This issue is pretty good, pretty good. Um, this whole series so far has been a surprise. It's maintaining a good pace. It's not overly angsty, I guess, is what I expected from Damian. Um, and it's got some humor in there, so I really like it. I really have been happy that I put it on my pull list. But starting with this cover here, we have Connor Hawk versus Robin. Um, I don't know what that background is. It looks like fire, kind of. I'm not sure, but it is, according to Ravager, Connor is the main threat on this island for Robin, for Damian. But we last left off, there was like a beach party, and Robin had no idea how to react to that. And we immediately go back into it, and the first person that talks to Robin is XXL. He's the guy with the boxing gloves. He had his whole entourage. Um, he immediately is just like, "Who brought the narc?" and I don't understand what his problem. I guess being Batman's son, that makes sense. Either way, though, I mean, you're on this island. You're on this island for a reason, so you should probably just do away with whatever preconceived notions you have of somebody. But he doesn't like him there. Robin immediately talks back, but Ravager's like, your homework, your assignment for tonight is to make friends. And it's actually pretty funny because earlier today on Instagram, um, there's a guy that I follow. His name's Nerd Morning. So he's pretty. You should check him out. He's got a YouTube account. He's always up to date with everything, pretty much. But he posted something about Robin. He read number 2, and he said that he's excited to see Robin make friends. And I took the opportunity to comment and say like Robin doesn't make friends. And this is before I even read this issue. Uh, and as soon as I turned the page, uh, the one of the first things that you read is Ravager saying, "Tonight you need to make some friends." And so I thought that was pretty cool. That was pretty funny how that lined up. Uh, but yeah, Robin doesn't make friends, and honestly though, he does try in this issue, so I'm surprised there. But he's he goes up to some people that are playing like the knife game where they try to make it in between their fingers, and there's this one guy, he's just doing it over and over and over. Robin comes in, steals his knives. He throws I guess one, two, three, four, five. He throws 5 knives up there, and four, two, three, four. Yeah, let's say four. And he throws them up in the air, and he puts his hand out, and everyone's like, "No way! Like, there's no way that he's gonna do this." And boop, 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 boop. Each one lands in between his fingers. Everyone goes crazy. They all love him for it. Before this, though, uh, Ravager was talking to Robin, telling him, "Hey, you need to learn how to loosen up. You know, whenever I found your manga, you were so stiff. You know, like everyone here knows that there's a moment for attacking and there's a moment to relax. And when she mentions the manga, Flatlines around, and she's like, "Oh, you read manga too?" It's like, "Is that why you deserted me?" She's just making jokes, but we find out that she likes manga, so that's kind of cool. It's something that they can relate to. Um, but again, he does this whole trick. It's a huge party. Even Raptor grabs him, gives him a noogie, and he's like, "Hey, that's not so bad, right?" And he's having a good time. They start asking him questions like, "Oh, I heard you started a prison and put a bunch of bad guys in there. Or I heard you did this other thing." And he's like, "Oh, well, I've got some stories for you. You know, like let me get you." And then someone cuts him off, and he starts saying like, "Well, you want to hear a story? Let me talk about your old man." And he says a story about Batman, and then somebody else has a Batman story, and pretty much it ends up people just gushing over Batman, really, and just he can't escape. He's, no matter what, even here in this island of villains for the most part, he's overshadowed by Batman, and he does cast a long shadow, right? And you know, he's pissed. So he walks away and he goes to like this little quiet place, and he finds himself with Connor Hawk, and immediately fight mode. He's like, "All right, man, you're my biggest threat. Let's go. Let's fight. I know there's a rule against fighting at night, but I'm willing to break that if you are." And Connor's just like, I'm just trying to meditate. I'm just, trying to find some peace. He explains something about the island, feeling like the spirits that are around. He mentions how the people before that that inhabited the island, they would do rituals for whatever reason. So he just saying he's just being pretty down to earth, and then he mentions to Robin, like, hey, we have more in common than you think. Um, and they start bonding over their hero fathers. Like um, Connor mentions that his dad likes fishnets, and then Robin comes back with, my dad has a thing for leather and whips and a lot of leather. Um, they start talking about, like, well, did your dad even know that you were alive when you were born? Um, he's like, no, worse, my dad held me the day I was born, and then he left. And so they just go back and forth, and it's a good moment, sweet, and you think they're going to become good friends here, but then this guy named Master Duke shows up, and he's like, Connor, get away from him, get away from the demon's head, or the demon, I think is just, that's it. He's your enemy. He's weak. He's a failure. Apparently, he used to teach Damian as well, so that's pretty cool to see. Damien is like, I was young, but I remember, like, you had a problem with me since I was young. I don't understand what your problem was. Um, but either way, Master Duke pretty much tells him he's a failure and says, Connor, this is a great moment for you to show us your loyalties. Take out Damien. So unfortunately for Damien, even though he is making a friend here, he is outside of his comfort zone. Finally does it, and this guy needs to attack him. And he does apologize. We'll say that he does apologize. He's like, I'm sorry, Damien. And then he goes into full attack mode. It's a couple of pages of them going back and forth. They are both really skilled, and you can see that they both get a hit in. But eventually, Connor gets the last hit, is able to not knock out, but like knock down Robin, and he picks him up and he throws him off the cliff. Master Duke does say, basically, the only way you heal in this island is if you die, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to die from this height. So I hope that you're in pain. I hope it takes a long time for you to heal, basically, from this. Uh, and then, like I said, he throws him. While he's falling, he does hear a voice, and he says, "I got you, son." And then he just passes out. It's like right before he hits the water. And then he goes, like I said, he passes out, wakes up. He says, "Father, you found me," and that's who I thought. I mean, I knew it wasn't gonna be Batman, but that's how they're making it seem. And he's like, "No, I'm not your father." And he looks up, and it's, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. There's so many ways that you can do it, but I'm gonna say Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul is there, and it made me think, when's the last time we saw Ra's al Ghul? Me personally, I saw him in Superman, or I'm sorry, Batman Superman. One of the issues, I think it was 12, 13. I'm not sure. That's the last time I saw him. He was fighting with Zod, whatever. But I can't recall the last time that we saw him in a Batman title. So he looks pretty messed up. He doesn't look messed up. He looks, um, what's the word I'm looking for here? Ungroomed. Yeah, dirty. He's wearing rags, like a ragged hood. His beard is unkempt. Uh, yeah, he looks bad. Like, he doesn't look like Ra's al Ghul at all. So what's he been up to? Who knows? That's, hopefully we find out in the next issue. So this one right here is a 7 out of 10, just because I feel bad for Damian, man. He is actually trying, whether we see it or not. He tried to make those friends. He tried to make himself like a part of the party, and they just kept talking about his dad. He doesn't want to talk about him. He's renounced his Robin status and stuff, so he doesn't want to be talking about his dad. So he walks away, and then he finds a friend, and that friend kills him, or was about to kill him. So I do feel bad for him. He tries. He bonded with Hawk. That's another positive. Hawk's betrayal. That's a positive, because it's a good story point, basically. Ravager is still a question for me. Like, what is she doing here? Why is she trying to help Robin. She said it would be beneficial for both of them, but what is she doing there? Is she there because of Ra's al Ghul now? Maybe. I just thought about that. Hmm, that's interesting. That would be interesting to see Ra's al Ghul reach out to Ravager of all people. Um, but yeah, I want to see the fights though. I do want to see XXL versus Respawn versus Flatline. I want to see all those people. So hopefully we get a little bit more of that next. You know what? Most likely next issue is going to be an explanation issue of what's going on with Raws, and then in issue 5, we'll probably get those fights and maybe the conclusion. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Other than that, 7 out of 10. I really liked it. But let me know your thoughts and let me know what you think of this issue. If you think Robin is going to go back and beat Connor or if they're going to form some kind of alliance. Either way, let me know in the comments. Let me know as a voice message on Anchor. You can always reach me on Instagram as well in the messages. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.